Good morning. My name is Phil, and this is my wife, Jane. Jane and I started our faith journey in 2015 when we joined the True Life Retreat, where we surrendered our life, got baptized, joined the D group. We got married in 2017 and conceived 2 years after. But then on the second month of her pregnancy, Jane started to bleed and was advised to be on bed rest.
It was not an easy journey. My medications were very expensive. I feared going to the bathroom and I would cry whenever I saw blood. I pleaded with God to please give me the chance to have this child.
On the fifth month, Jane had an ultrasound. Our doctor shared that our baby had unilateral cleft lip and palate and ventriculomegaly. This meant that the ventricles on her brain were much larger than normal.
We were in disbelief and could not understand why this was happening. We did not have any known history of the said diagnosis in either our families. I took good care of myself and even planned ahead to make sure I was fit to carry a child.
Our savings were quickly depleting to cover the cost of medications. But what was most heartbreaking was that our unborn child was diagnosed with multiple health conditions. We sought a second opinion, but the diagnosis was likewise disheartening. We were told that our baby will be dependent on us for life. She will not have her own personality and will not be able to move on her own. We were discouraged but remained hopeful. We did not know if or how God would heal our baby. We just held to God's promises that He would never leave us or forsake us and would cause all things to work together for good for those who love Him and called according to His purpose.
As my due date came closer, our daughter's head also continued to grow bigger. Eventually, our doctors advised that she did not have ventriculomegaly but hydrocephalus. There were no signs of improvement. Our doctor would ask if I was okay, and honestly, I did not know how to respond. As we continued to wrestle with God in our prayers, it dawned on us that we might be missing God's message for us through all that has been happening. Phil and I became still before the Lord and with peace in our hearts, surrendered our daughter's life into His hands and prayed for His will to be done.
On the 8th month, we were informed to prepare for Avi's operation after birth. She would have to undergo a brain surgery to place a shunt in her head to regulate the fluid in her brain. We did not have enough funds for the operation. I reached out to a foundation that conformed to help us, and I was instructed to call once Jane delivered so they could send us the funds. Jane gave birth on December 12, 2019. I called as instructed, but no help came. I was devastated as I struggled with my disappointment. I realized how I put all my trust in a person instead of God. I asked for forgiveness and prayed for wisdom. I was then led to do fundraising for our daughter, and in just 2 days, we were able to raise enough money for the surgery. It was amazing how the Lord brought people to come alongside us through the church, our co-workers, family, friends, and even strangers.
We stayed in the hospital for 4 months. Seeing our daughter in her very frail condition was so painful. But our little Avi was a fighter. All I could do was pray for God to give me strength and more time to take care of our daughter.
After 3 brain surgeries, we finally came home and started physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Avi was still on feeding tube until we completed her cleft lip operation, which could only be done when she reached 14 months old.
We shared her cleft and hydrocephalus journey through her Victorious TikTok account to help encourage others going through similar trials and also to stay accountable to the people helping us. People were blessed and found joy and inspiration in Avi's resilience amidst the challenges she was experiencing.
Avi continued to grow up like any normal kid, diagnosed with global developmental delay. She was able to communicate with us through her actions. She was also able to walk with assistance, and contrary to what we were told, she had a big personality.
Everything was fine until January 6. Avi was experiencing stomach pains and was vomiting. She had these episodes even as an infant. Little did we know that this was her last night with us.
That night, I took care of her and followed our doctor's advice to observe for 24 hours. I told Jane that we would that we will take Abby to the hospital the next day if her condition did not improve.
At 4 a.m., Abby woke me up and she sat down beside me. I looked at her, held her face, and told her, "Anak, you're going to be okay. If you're not feeling well tomorrow, we will go to the hospital, okay? I love you," and I kissed her. Then she went to her daddy and cuddled with him.
Before I went to sleep, I gave her fluids and cuddled with her. The next time I woke up to check on Abby, she was already lifeless. It was the darkest moment of our lives. I performed CPR, and when I heard a faint gasp of air, we rushed her to the hospital.
As the doctors tried to revive her for 30 minutes, Phil was crying and blaming himself for what happened. I comforted and affirmed Phil that I did not blame him for what happened and that we should keep trusting in God's sovereign plan.
After some time, our doctor came and shared the very painful news that Abby was gone. We were in shock. We could not understand why it happened so quickly and why God took her while we were sleeping. Yet, despite the indescribable pain, we continue to trust God in all that has happened and will be happening in our lives. We will be forever grateful for the borrowed time we were able to spend with Abby to love and care for her.
After 3 months of Abby's passing, we joined a Christian support group that caters to parents who lost a child. I also volunteered to help do their graphics, and last May 2022, we decided and committed to turn our sorrow into service. We accepted a calling to lead a couples D group. We also started volunteering at the Welcome Center as prayer coaches.
We will serve God in and out of season. God is our sovereign God who causes all things to work together for good. We may not have all the answers, but God directs our path, and we must trust in Him no matter what we face in life. We are joyful that Abby is now home with Jesus. Though we miss her every single day, and in light of all this, we are still a victorious family because the suffering that we are experiencing is nothing compared to the joy that is to come. To God be all the glory and praise.